Hello everybody, how is it going? So today, more tournament gameplay. It's a Law Mirror, and I'm going to go over this hand real quick. It's Kid, Law, Queen, putting in Gordon. Hand seems solid. You have the putting for the start, depending if you're going first or second, we'll see. This is the opponent's hand, has Black Maria, Shachi Penguin, Beppo, Raise Max, and a Sanji. So it has the Black Maria, so yeah, I mean that card is kind of not balanced, so always good to have, especially if your opponent doesn't have it yet, so you'll kind of be at the advantage there. I don't know, the mirror sounds weird with Black Maria. I'm not sure how that's really going to go. We'll see, I guess, because even, like, I don't know, I guess if your opponent has less Dawn than you, it's still fine, because you have, like, you can just use her effect and use that Dawn that you know, get from that effect, so I'm pretty sure it'll still be impactful, but player on the right is going to go first. I doubt they're going to play down the Gordon, because, I mean, what's the point? I guess it gives your opponent a decision to either bottom the Gordon or one of your characters, but I don't know. Bottoming a Gordon just seems like really free value. Probably wouldn't want to do that. That's where I'm at with that. But putting is definitely coming down turn 2, and we'll see if he has anything decent to bounce into by then. But starting it off, just going to grab a Dawn and pass it over. I imagine the other Law will also just pass it over, because there isn't a ton to do on turn 1 with Red Purple Law. You don't really play any 1-drop searches or anything like that, so yeah, like the most you'll do is pre-play like a Gordon or a Raise Max, because you know matchup that they don't really have a good answer to it. I guess an example of that would be like Black Yellow Luffy. They don't really have much removal outside of like 5-cost Luffy, but just swinging 5, and player on the left will take that, picking up another Kid. I believe that's what they top deck last turn as well. Yep. Putting coming down, and I'm not gonna cheat out anything else because his only option is either block or Law or putting, so yeah, I think that's completely fair. Just gonna get up to 5 Dawn. We'll be able to play down his Kid or his Queen. I imagine you probably go with Kid first, but player on the left also swinging 5. Player on the right will also picks up a Kid and Killer. I love that alt art. I wish I had that alt art. But player on the left playing down putting, playing down a Gordon, and is going to use the effect to bottom his opponent's putting and get down, I assume, the Shachi Penguin, and is going to basically just get a free leader effect there, because putting will ramp 1 and Shachi and Penguin will ramp the other 2. So it's kind of like you didn't really pay for that leader effect, which is very nice. Passing it over. Opponent should be on 5 Dawn now, because did not use leader effect last turn. It's a little awkward, because on the 5 Dawn turn, I imagine you really want to get down a 5-drop, but also not bottoming something this turn doesn't feel the best. I guess you could go like Gordon plus putting and kind of just do the same thing your opponent did and then cheat out a Shachi Penguin, but you bottom one of his characters. Alternatively, like you just go Kid and then cheat out, I guess, probably the Shachi Penguin, but doesn't feel the best, honestly, not answering something on the board. I guess maybe you want to save your Gordons for the 5-drops, which would be reasonable. Just because Kid is obviously very strong, so is Queen, you know, just being 6k blockers, so maybe we value Gordoning that over something else. But then again, like bottoming a putting is also quite strong, because that'll get value almost every turn. Gonna go 1 Dawn on leader, so yeah, looks like he is opting to not play the Kid this turn, which, like, it feels a little bit bad, but I think you have to answer something on the board, which is fair. I imagine player on the left will take this, just because, well, we're at 5-6 in hand now. That's fine. We're not going to get hit by Law or anything like that. And going down to 2 is usually the comfort zone, I think, for this deck. It is with, you know, it was with, like, Red-Green Law. Zoro would go down life very comfortably, stuff like that. So dropping down to 2 seems fine. Is going to tap 3, get down that putting, and then we will spend the Gordon here to probably bottom deck his opponent's putting. Yeah, because that will, it's kind of like, yeah, it's a 4k, so they have to spend a Dawn to swing with it every turn, but also, like, it gets value every turn from just returning a Dawn, so yup. And yep, same play that we saw us last turn. It just gets the free leader effect, basically. And we'll pass it over. So now player on the left will be on 6 Dawn, which is quite nice. We'll be able to get down a 5-drop, and if I don't think he has, yeah, he doesn't have a Gordon or a Raise Max, so won't be able to remove anything this turn, but yeah, being at 6 Dawn is kind of that sweet spot where you get to play Kid and a Gordon, and that's usually a pretty productive turn, I'd say. But what else would we do outside of that? His opponent's only on 4 cards in hand, so I'm not going to rip any with Law. Has 5 Dawn though, so like going Kid until like Beppo gets some value. I doubt you want to spend a Kid and Killer just yet, so yeah, could also just play out the Sanji. I think playing the Beppo here might be the best after playing Kid, unless we're just completely not playing Kid, but that just doesn't sound right, so we'll have to see. I was actually a little bit off topic. I did go to a pre-release, it's yesterday now, and I was going to play an L, but one of my friends came, so I lent him the deck, and I played red-purple. My deck was definitely missing some cards, but that's alright. One of my buddies at Locals gave me some Eins, so that was nice. And I did pretty well, but I rolled for the last round because one of my boys at Locals really did not want to play, and we got annihilated in the roll, but it's okay. You know, it happens. We ended up X2, and if we played it out, I don't know. It just would have been whoever won that. I think I end up top 4ing, but it's all good. Pre-release is fun. It was not the... what's it called? Like, it wasn't draft, it was just we were just playing with our decks, because that's just how our locals went. Also, I haven't had locals in a long time, so actually going to locals was pretty nice. Yeah, I'm sorry, back to the turn, we end up playing Kid into Sanji, so yeah, I think that's fair. I think the other play was going into Beppo, but I guess Sanji isn't really necessarily harder to deal with than any of the 5k bodies, but is a blocker, so I guess we have 2 blockers, and he's also a 6k body, so there is that. Sanji's really nice against like black decks, where him just being a 6 cost gets value, and you're only obviously, you know, he is a 3 cost when you're less Dawn, and in those matchups you're always less Dawn, so yeah. Looking at the player on the right hand, has a bunch of 5 drops. I think, yeah, 2 Kid, 2 Queen, still has the blocker law, 2 blocker laws. That's funny, his hand is a bunch of 2-ofs, except the Kid and Killer. Alright, well, I think we're pretty locked into playing a Kid here, most likely. Could also play the Queen. You know, the Queen does just, like, you don't actually minus the Dawn from the Queen because of the pudding, but then, you know, leader affecting feels a little bit bad because you don't have anything to re-ramp after. Unless Queen finds you something, which obviously then it's okay. But, yeah, it was fun playing the pre-release. I hope we'll have more locals. I can only hope. And, yeah, we'll have to see. I definitely want to try to make Lucci, and I already have basically Black Yellow Luffy made, so those will probably be the 2 decks I mainly play. I would play Law. I'll probably end up playing Law. I'll probably just end up playing like kind of like the 4 main decks of this format, being an L, Law, Lucci, and who's that guy? Who's that guy? Luffy. But I do think I want to main Lucci, just because, I don't know, I haven't really played any black deck, like, kind of like grinded it, so I kind of want to do that for this format. Sounds like fun. I also just like Lucci as a character, so there is that. But actually opts to go with the Queen. I think that's fair, you know, your hand is a bunch of 2-ofs, you're kind of trying to find something else. Funny he found a 3rd Kid, but he did find a Gordon, which is good. Will let us remove something, which is definitely nice. Looks like we're going to get rid of the Kid. We still have 2 more, I think that's completely fine. I'm not sure if the blocker Law will ever get a ton of value in the mirror, because like Law always kind of hovers around 4 to 6 cards depending on how many rages they see. Sometimes you'll hit 7, but it's kind of rare, so yeah, I guess just having them as blockers is fine. I have no doubt we're gonna Gordon the Kid and then just bottom it, because Kid is kind of strong. Agreed. So yeah, playing down the Gordon. We're probably cheating out, I guess just a blocker Law. Like, I don't think we really want to spend the Kid and Killer, unless we really want to beat down this Shachi Penguin, which maybe we will spend the Kid and Killer. So yep, using Gordon, reducing Kid by 3. We already used pudding effect, so we won't get that re-ramp, sadly, but we're still going to be at 6 Dawn the following turn. Obviously going down to 4 this turn could potentially mess with our opponents, you know, if you're less Dawn effects, but I don't think so, because our opponent's also at 4, so after they leader effect, they'll be at, you know, what's it called? They'll be at 3 next turn, and then they'll get their re-ramps after they get to resolve whatever effect. But Yep, using leader, saying goodbye to that kid, and just thinking on what he wants to bring out. Looks like it's going to be the Kid and Killer. It is a 7k though, you know, it's okay I think to spend it here just to try to clear board. Still has a Shachi Penguin swing, but it could just get free blocked if he counters out of this 7k. Will not be able to swing with the pudding, but I think that's kind of fine. You just kind of want pudding to hang around. We get to look at his hand. It's Beppo Kid, Law, and a Kid and Killer. We straight up can't really counter out of this unless we like block with Sanji and then drop 2 1Ks, but then we just get attacked by a Shachi Penguin and there's like no way we're going down to 1 card. So yeah, I imagine we just have to let this go, right? We even maybe take a life here. Probably not though. If he just swings 5 with Shachi, we're just gonna free block that. Yeah, I think we just have to let this go. Is definitely thinking about it though. You could always top deck a Reiju and then it would never have mattered. That is a possibility. It still matters, but you know what I mean. Okay, we're gonna block with Sanji and drop 2 1Ks. We're dropping the whole hand for the Shachi Penguin. That's kind of crazy. I guess, are we trying to just go for game? Are we that raw? I mean, maybe. His opponent doesn't have any 2Ks. I mean, there's no way he could really know that, but I guess it's possible. That's kind of scary to do. I don't know. Hey, we'll see if it pays off though. Imagine he top decked the Gordon, and he could just bottom the queen. It's pretty likely he gets game if that happens, but it did not happen. Is going to put 2 down on leader, swinging 7. I'm curious where he's swinging here. I imagine it's life if we're making plays like that. Dropping 3 1Ks there is kind of crazy to me, but it might pay off here. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. If he's going for board, that was definitely a weird play. So I just imagine we're going at life. So we are going to drop 3 1Ks there. Kind of crazy. So I guess, how do we play this as the player on the left? We probably check with 7 again. Seeing that they just dropped 3 1Ks, it's pretty likely that 7 is just guaranteed right now. So that either forces the block or they just take. And then we could go 7 again. And then I guess we try to just finish with leader effect into Kid Killer. It's still a gamble, because like, it just depends what our opponent finds off of this last life card. We don't have like a kid on board to get a Dawn back after we leader effect, so it's not like we can go 7-7-8-8, which would have felt a bit more guaranteed. I guess with kid we would. How much would we have been able to go? It would have been. Nah, it would have been like 8-9, I guess. But yep, does go 7 with the Shachi Penguin. This either has to be blocked or you're just taking this life. You gotta be happy there wasn't a Gordon, because that's kind of scary. I don't think. Do you block this? Yeah, no, you take this. Okay. It does not find counter. Okay, so if he's going for game, this is just game. We're gonna use leader effect, putting back 3, bringing out the Kid Killer. It's just 7 and then 8. And we know it's game now. I don't know if he's going to stretch this out or not. We'll see. But we can wait. Man. Scoop it up. I guess there is a possibility that your opponent just doesn't swing the Sanji, but like, if you're both in grand finals, like, there's no shot. He's not. Like, I don't feel like there's really much debate here, you know? Like, oh, I have the counter. It's like, he's committed. He has 1 card in hand. He's gonna go for game. But, here we are, I guess. We can talk about, what can we talk about? I don't know. Next format, 07. We're walking right in. Next week, okay, uses the queen. Here's 8K. That is game. Yep. Very good. But yeah, OP07, we're right there. Next week, coming up. I might have an opening. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with this set. If I just want to get singles or do I want to open boxes. I don't know. I think it just depends how much boxes are going to be right now, because I feel like they've only been going up in price. So maybe after pre-release, we'll have to see. Because I did not buy one on pre-release. I got a couple packs. Didn't pull anything crazy. I did get a 6-cost Sanji, which I guess is cool. The friend with me that went to locals pulled in his 6-packs a Foxy alt art leader, the Foxy 7-drop alt art, and the Otama alt art, which was hilarious. Just got the entire box in 6-packs. So, yep, that was kind of crazy. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.